Hey guys, I'm Ash.
And I'm Pete.
We're two friends with a combo of 7 kids ranging from toddlers to 20s and 2 crazy husbands.
Our paths were not easy. With childhood battle wounds, divorce, second marriages and all, we somehow found each other. And together we talk real life, laugh, cry, and figure out how to survive the day.
Music is by Dustbowl Champion. To hear Dustbowl Champion's newest hits, search Dustbowl Champion on Spotify. Hey guys, it's Ash and Pete.
Hey.
I forgot that
you start the podcast?
Yeah.
Well, everybody, we're back for another episode.
Yes.
Ashley's going to give us an update because she came in kind of acting like she was proud, and I'm like, I still think
I did not say it. Jason was the one that said it first, actually. He was the one that brought it up. I am proud of the, what's that called? Progress that I've made.
So in last week's episode, we heard that Ashley is a crazy person and had 41,000 emails.
And I no longer have 41,000 emails. I am down to just under 8,000. That's really good in comparison to 41,000.
Yes, I guess, but 8,000 emails.
I mean,
is still
I'll get
crazy.
through those like that.
So I had a listener message that said, Ashley is so crazy.
I am crazy.
It's like a guy clipping his toenails and keeping them.
Okay, that is not.
I think he might have been referring more to this was a male
that
listener.
Was talking about
like your
the P test. Yeah. And that is not the same because.
Which one of our friends
who
listened and said she had like a keepsake.
Right.
I never knew that they made those.
I was not aware of those either. That's pretty neat.
I know. That's really cool.
Yeah. She said that you would break the plastic and the strip that would have the lines on it would be in a, what did she say? It was
like
a heart. Like, I imagine it to be like a locket-ish. Maybe not a lock, but like not a locket, but like a pendant type thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe we need a picture. We need to ask her for a picture.
We need to talk to her about that. But I thought that is really cool.
Yeah,
that's
cool.
really sweet. See? It's not the part that she peed on.
It's not the part that she peed on, but that part does collect pee. How do you think it makes those marks? The urine.
I don't know. Her sounded a lot cuter, and
it is a lot cuter.
And she has it in the baby book, not in her drawer.
Well, if I put them in my kid's baby book, would that be better? No,
I would like you to go. I would like you to go show yours. Do your sons know that you have those?
They do.
And what do they think? They want to give them to their kids?
No, but my kids are well aware that I'm crazy, so I don't know that things like that faze them so much.
I think we need to talk to your doctor about this. I think this is an illness. You give my friend.
I do think it is
crazy.
I think it might be something like psychological for sure.
Yeah. Well, I think it is part of your hoarderness, which, we discussed, but
I'll get rid of them.
Eventually.
Yeah.
When you can't remember.
No, it'll be when I remember. I said when the kids have kids, they'll be gone. That could be in a few years.
That seems what makes you, like, when Hayden has a son, what makes you, or a daughter, what makes you go, now I'm going to my drawer and I am going to remove my pee stick, and now it's time for it to go into the
No,
trash.
it'll be before they have a kid. I'm saying.
I want to be there for the ceremony when we actually throw them away.
Ooh, if we do a ceremony, I could get rid of them now.
Okay, let's do that.
But we have to do, what kind of ceremony are we going to do?
I don't know. Do you want to, like, dance around a fire and burn them?
Ooh, they're plastic, though.
Oh, yeah, let's not do that for her.
But I do imagine that putting them in a boat and burning them and letting them off into the water is...
It's still putting plastic.
But
plastic
yeah, I know.
our
That's not good because
environment.
it's
That's
burnt
horrible.
plastic. Maybe I break the plastic and burn the little things that
You peed on?
that turn to the plastic.
Well, we're not burying them. We need to throw them away or burn them. Well, we can't burn them because they're plastic. So I think we have to throw them in the trash.
That's not a good ceremony. I don't like that one.
We could say goodbye to them. I don't know. We might have to think of something.
Yeah.
If the listener has an idea, let us know, because this crazy friend of mine has to get rid of these.
I think we could burn the part that has the plus.
Okay, I'm not going to touch your pea sticks, but I'll let you tear them apart and see.
Yeah, no, I'll break them.
We need to probably make sure that goes on our TikTok. I don't know if you do that.
Oh my
Look for our
God.
TikTok. It's going to happen.
Okay, but we have to make a plan first.
Okay.
So don't
we will.
look too soon.
Okay.
We still haven't done the other TikTok.
I know. We have a couple of them that we need to line up. Well, we've been very busy. You've had COVID. You've had
festivals.
yeah.
You're running.
We've had
Going out of town.
vacations. We've had birthdays. How about
Aww.
this? Yeah, my daughter, my oldest, turned 16 yesterday.
I know. You're
Yeah.
so old.
I know, I am.
It's so crazy.
I had a meeting for work yesterday, and meanwhile, I'm thinking, like, I need to hurry up and get out of here because I need to go. My day yesterday was crazy, but
Yeah. Oh,
I
I
need to
forgot to mention.
I need to go pick up the cake for her birthday still before we get home, and we were just doing a dinner, just us as a family, and then she was having a friend over. So I am trying to hurry up. Anyway, the guy that we met with, he's like, we're like, okay, well, tell us a little bit about you and give us some background on you and your company and stuff and how it got started. And anyway, he said something, and he's like, I know I look really young, but I'm actually not. And he's like, and he says the same age that, like, I am. And I was like, just so you know, that is still young. That is
Really?
still really young. And he's like, well, I mean, like, people think I'm, like, in my early 20s. Which I was like, well, that's what they think about me too. That's what I told him. I go, that's what I get all the time. But it was kind of funny. But I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, to say I have a 16-year-old is pretty crazy.
I know.
Pretty
It's
crazy.
insane. And the funny thing is that her and Hayden aren't that far apart.
Yeah.
But 16 just seems so
older, right?
Yeah.
So much older. Well, and we're talking about things, and we'll bring it up in today's discussion, but I'm talking to her dad about things, and he's like, Priscilla, whether we want to face it or not, in 2 years she's going to be 18 and she can make her own decisions. I'm like, and it's like stab to the heart. Don't tell me that. I will make her decisions
Right.
until I feel that she is ready to make her own. And I don't see that ending in 2 years, but
No.
But I will say in this last year, there's been a lot of growth, and I can only imagine what these next 2 years are going to look like. For the parents who have already done it, kudos to you guys, especially girls. Especially now, just things are so different, It's just rough. I feel like I really feel for parents today. And maybe that sounds, maybe it's because I'm going through it, or maybe it's because I don't know. And I keep feeling like every generation people say that, right? Like
Right.
things are so different than when I was a kid, but I just feel like it's more than ever before. I didn't notice, maybe because I was the kid,
right.
I didn't notice the huge difference between me growing up and in my mom's generation, in the sense of like it is today.
Yeah.
I just didn't see it that much.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I was also the child, not the parent. So I don't know.
Maybe we should ask our parents, because I
feel like she told me the same. She told me she feels like things are different than even when she was raising us.
I think so. I mean, I agree with that, because I think that, I mean, just technology has changed things so much. The social media aspect of it has changed things so much. And I just think everyone knows so much more about so many things, just because there's more access to everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that makes a big difference.
And sometimes the more you know, the worse you are off.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel that way? Like sometimes, like when people say, like, I don't want to know. Sometimes it's because people want to bury their head. But I also think just because sometimes all the information is too much information.
Right.
And it's over like stimulating. And it's not good for one's psyche. Like really, when you think about it. Sometimes even like, I don't know, I feel like even when you're trying to follow things as things are happening, all of last year, I was following COVID so carefully because of my job.
Mm-hmm.
I got to a point where I was like, I am mentally exhausted.
Yeah.
Like I feel like my brain is mush. I am exhausted. I have all of these feelings and emotions, and I don't even know what to do with them at this point because of all of everything that's going on. And I'm constantly getting info, and I'm constantly, because I had to stay on top of it so that I could inform people about it. And it was just, I felt awful.
Yeah.
I didn't want to know anymore. It's like, I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I didn't watch the news for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I actually did get off social media for a little while.
Yeah.
Which I miss, like seeing like, my family and like pictures of people and, the fun stuff. But I just didn't want to, there was so much ugliness and I just couldn't take it. And sometimes I think the more you know, the worse you are off. Does that sound?
Sometimes that is the case. I agree.
I mean, we need to be educated.
Being educated is one thing, but I think that
I don't want to bury my head.
No, I get that. I think that things are. This is where I'm going to sound maybe controversial. I think a lot of things are politicized, and whether it's politicized by one side or another, or both, to be honest, it just makes it so much. It's just too much.
Well, and I'm going to say this. So last week we kind of got off topic, and I don't really want to get off topic today.
Yeah.
But when we started talking about the fact that, look, we came on here and said that we were always going to be honest.
Right.
And I'm an open book. You're an open book. Like anything people ask us and they come to us, like we pretty much answer.
Right.
We're not going to like be like, oh, I don't talk about that.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Right.
Life is life. Whatever we've done or whatever we've come out of or whatever, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I try to be respectful of other people's feelings, but my life and my feelings and my everything, my views are mine.
Right.
Doesn't mean they're everyone else's.
Exactly.
And there's always a time and a place. But I think the biggest thing is we have been, I don't want to say treading light, maybe treading.
Yeah,
treading.
We've been treading lightly
on certain issues that I think we are dealing with on an everyday, that we try not to offend anyone listening, or we don't want to seem one-sided in any kind of way.
Right.
We want everyone to feel it doesn't matter if you have kids, if you don't have kids.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter if you're married, if you're not married. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what your political whatever, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we just want to be real and hope that something we say you either relate to or could take away from or laugh at on a shitty day or whatever it is. And things are to ignore what's going on around us is impossible. Right? Like, we are dealing with crazy times.
Mm-hmm.
This last year and a half is insane. Like, who would have ever thought?
Yeah.
Who would have ever thought?
Not me.
No. No one thought that the whole U.S. would shut down.
Right. Yeah.
That's unheard of. No, that's a book or something. That is not reality.
Right.
So I think that for us, we just want to not ignore things. And there are things that are like kind of, I don't want to say under our skin, but kind of maybe a little bit that we want to say, let's talk about it.
Yes.
Talk about it. And you know what? Let's hope that we don't offend anyone.
And that's not what we mean to do.
No.
And we know that what our opinions or views are is not everyone else's. And we respect other people's views and opinions. We just also have ours.
Yeah. And to be honest, it's not even like all of our views are the same.
True. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
have different of opinions on certain topics as well. So I think we're going to break early in this one.
Okay.
Break a little early. We'll take a break right now, and then we'll kind of get into some of the things that we want to discuss.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Hey guys, we're back.
We are.
Okay.
We're going to have a child join us for this one.
Yes.
So don't be alarmed.
Yes. If you hear some whining, it's not Ashley or I.
If you hear chewing, we are also not eating. So. Yes. And if you hear maybe business happening in the back, it's not us working either.
It's not us working. So where did we leave off? We left off kind of starting to talk about we aren't trying to offend anyone. There's been a lot of things that have been happening. There's a lot going on in the world right now. And this last year and a half has been, I think for most, I know I'm not the only person when I say it's been one of the worst years I've ever had. You know, we went through a lot as a family. Mentally, a little physically, but not really. It was more mental, I think, on our home. I don't think that we are made to not socialize.
Right.
I don't think
agree.
it's healthy.
No.
It's just kind of like when you think back, like try to remember pre-COVID, right? And you think about like you tell your kids, don't spend a lot of time in your room by yourself. You need to come out and visit your, see your family. Because teens and kids tend to like go chill in their room, hang out all day, and it's like, no, you need to come out of your room. You need to come out and hang out with your family.
Mm-hmm.
Or you need to get off your TV or your computer for a little bit, or your phone for a little bit.
Yeah.
And you're
go
trying
outside, go do something.
Right.
Yeah.
We're trying to limit all of those things, and I think it's the same thing. But it was just like, instead, we went through a year where our kids were in front of a screen all day long.
Yeah. For
all
school,
day long.
That's all they had.
For school.
If they wanted to communicate with friends,
it was
all
had
to be
phone.
through on their phone.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, I guess they could email, but I don't know that kids do that.
So
you can't do it on the computer.
Yeah. I mean, everything was not personal.
Right.
And it kind of goes back to, again, pre-COVID, when people would tell you, like when you went to school or you were starting a job or whatever, it's like, make sure when you're building relationships with people on a professional level, you like, there's always that personal touch that makes things, like for building relationships, like it helps to have that personal touch. It helps to have that personal touch with friends. It helps. I mean, we pretty much lost that in that year. And I think that says a lot of, that's really true. That personal touch, that like seeing someone and giving them a hug,
right?
Or being like, hey, how's it going? Or
right.
Hey, let's catch up really quick, or let's just talk in person about our day. And so I can sit here and look at you in the eyes and be like, I'm sorry, that's really crappy.
Right.
Remember, I'm always here. Whatever. It was gone. And it's hard because I think like everyone went through things in different stages. I think for us, our hardest was seeing how much my teenagers struggled through it.
Mm-hmm.
And that is more hurtful to me than anything, because these girls are my babies, you know, and I don't want any of them to go through anything that hurts. And so I have compassion for all those who went through this last year and had to overcome something.
Yeah.
But I think it's even worse than going through it yourself. Going through it and seeing it happen to your children is 10 times worse.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The little ones were restless. The little ones were whatever.
It doesn't necessarily affect them the same way.
No.
Like that mental.
Right.
It was really like a whole mental like disaster.
Yes.
For other people. I mean, and I know not even just kids struggled. There were adults that had a really hard time with it.
Yeah.
But for the kids, it's like, on a daily basis, that's how the kids socialize. As adults, we get busy and we may not necessarily be socializing every single day. We're not going to be with our friends every single day. Yeah, we see people at work and that kind of thing. But it's different. Whereas it's, especially I feel like for the teenagers, because when they're at that age, that's kind of when things start happening for them. Like you start hanging out with your friends more and going places with your friends and doing all of those types of things.
Yeah.
And they didn't get to do that.
Right.
They didn't have that.
And school is supposed to be it is your learning place, and your classroom is all of those things. But at the same time, seeing your friends and going through those things together, at least at some point, and catching up at lunch is kind of a source of, you to kind of get things out. And they didn't have that.
Right.
And so between seeing what my child went through and going through things myself, and then seeing what our community went through. I have a job that really ties me to our community a lot, and seeing everything that's happened, it is very difficult to not be aware of things and to not be cautious of things that are happening around us, and to slow things. I don't even know how to put it. Like, I think that my point in this is, I feel like so many things are happening in the world, and I'm trying to really not just like, okay, so we have to do this, we have to do this, so we have to get the vaccine, we have to do this, and we have to put, we have to have an opinion about this and this and this and this. And I'm trying to like really look at it, like put it in front of me, step back, look at it.
Yeah, big picture.
Big picture, what is happening? Because I feel it's very scary.
Yeah.
Everything right now.
It is. It really is. I mentioned that I won't be getting the vaccine at this point because it is too new, and there's a lot of, it's being forced on people now. You get it or you don't have your job,
Yeah.
My sister-in-law, I was just texting with her, and she said, there are people, I won't give away like what exactly she does, but she does work in the health industry. And she said there are people that are sitting in the chair, the vaccine chair, and they're literally crying because they don't want to get it. They don't. And it's not even necessarily a political thing,
Right.
I think a lot of people are in the same boat as, I just don't know what it's going to do long term.
Right.
Like, we just don't have any of that information. I have all of my other vaccinations.
Yes.
I'm not anti-vax. It's not anything to do with that. I don't know what it's going to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it time before I get it, and it's one of those things where, especially I think a lot of people on the medical side, we need to get it done right now because we need it. And then there are people that are like, but wait, we don't know about it. I've watched multiple things where they do have people in healthcare, and that is a concern for them, that they don't know. And so, she says people are in the vaccine chair and they're crying because they don't want to get it. They're being forced to in order to keep their job, and they can't afford to not lose their job, and that's a horrible situation.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know what you do in that.
I don't know either. And I just think there's so many layers to this, but we'll talk about the vaccine real quick. So many people have an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. I get all sides. I get that no one wants to have them, like, no one wants to die. No one wants to have anyone they love die over anything like this. It just seems so rapid.
Mm-hmm.
Everything.
Yes. So fast
that I'm one to analyze everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm one to I have over time, as I've gotten older, have been like, when they say, like, you think you love with your heart,
mm-hmm.
like we've talked about that from like my first marriage and stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Like when you're younger, sometimes you lead with your heart and not with your head.
Right.
And I have learned over time to lead with my head first.
Yes.
And then let my heart follow that. And head-wise, I am also not vaccinated. And I do that because, number one, I really try and for the most part, really try and watch what I put in my body.
Yeah.
And like, I just, I'm also not a non-vaxxer. Like I vaccinate my kids. I'm all vaccinated. I'm not like that. I mean, I don't want to bring scarlet fever back. I don't want like, anything crazy happening. I understand what vaccines are there to protect us from these crazy diseases. But I just am cautious of new medicine.
Yeah.
Cautious of new anything.
Right.
I'm cautious of procedures.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cautious of doctors. I'm cautious of everything. And I don't trust most people. We've talked about this.
Right.
Like I have trust issues,
yeah.
right? I don't trust anything. And I just give myself time to analyze everything.
Absolutely.
And I don't feel like giving me a few months is enough to analyze
something that could really be a significant impact.
Yes, it may not. Look, it may be for the better, and that's okay too.
Right.
I would love, that's great, and I'm not saying I'll never get it.
Right.
But I tell people, like, shit, can you give me a season? Like, can I go through every season of the year first to see even what it is?
Yeah.
What happens? What happens to people? What happens to the vaccine as it changes? I don't know.
Right.
I mean, and we are coming into end of summer, kinda. I mean, we're not even in the fall yet.
Right.
And things are already changing. And I just want to give it, that's all,
Yeah.
I feel very blessed to say that, COVID has run its course through our home, and we all are healthy and fine.
Right.
And I know that's not the same for everyone, but for our home, it's just like anything else. It's just like any view you have. It's just like any political party you have or whatever. It's what is best for you in your home.
Exactly.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Right.
For our home, this is what's best for us.
Right.
We have decided to live this life. Now, if I had a job that made me choose, I don't know. That is so hard.
I already told Jason that we'll just leave. If I don't have my job here, then I don't necessarily have a reason to stay in a state that I'm not very happy with to begin with.
So you're saying, like, if your job told you had to be vaccinated, you would leave. I would
let them fire me.
Yes.
Because I'm going to get some type of unemployment from it. I'm not going to just leave. Let's be
honest. Right. But you're saying you would probably end up leaving the state.
Yeah.
What if it's his job?
If his job requires it?
Mm-hmm.
If it's his job, if his job says, like, you get it or you don't have a job, it's whatever he wants to do. His job isn't keeping us here. His job could take us to almost any other state.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, to be honest, his job would be better in another state because he wouldn't be traveling as much. He doesn't have any stores in California. There's nothing that for his job that he needs to be in California for.
Yeah.
So, if it's like, is he going to get the vaccine or not? That's completely up to him. What he wants to do is up to him.
And I think there are even homes. I know of friends that have homes that are like that, like where one spouse is vaccinated and the other one is not.
Yeah.
Because the other one does not want to be.
Right.
And one said, no, I want to be. Yeah. I want to be safe.
That's how my mom is.
I want to be around, I want to be around my family and feel safe and whatever. Mm-hmm. I think it's whatever is best for your home.
Yeah.
But I really have a problem with making someone do something or you're out of your career.
Right.
Because this isn't like, or you can't work at a job that is, you're flipping burgers part-time to get through school or whatever. And I'm not saying that, like, I mean, there are people that have long-term careers in fast food and their management. There are people that have done it forever. That we need every kind of person.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, these are people who have gone and gotten an education and spent money on their education. This is their careers.
Right.
And this is their specialty. So even if they left their job, they're now saying like, oh no, well, even if you can't go get another job in your career.
Go somewhere else.
You can't go somewhere else because you're all not going to have
required.
A choice.
Yeah.
There's no choice.
Yeah.
And the no choice is probably the most concerning.
The hardest part with it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
that's the other thing that I have an issue with when it comes to masks too. When it comes to masks, like, why is it something that is being required? Why can't we decide?
Right.
I mean, I have opinions on masks and what type of protection they're giving you to begin with. But as a parent, if I feel that my kid, I would rather them be without a mask than with a mask, why, in order for my kid to go to school, they have to wear a mask? Like, that's something that I'm struggling with too.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that that's something that, I don't think it's doing anything for them.
I understand that. I think for me, like, see, in my home, like, my daughter prefers to wear a mask, so it's not an argument or it's not an issue. And she's at the age where it's like, I mean, no matter what, it's like, if you feel more comfortable that way, then that's fine. It doesn't bother her, so that's okay. But I sure as heck don't want to have I mean, it is sad. I mean, I think I don't know if I told you, I told one of our friends, you know, Danny, who's my 2-year-old, gets my mask out of the diaper bag one day and puts it on, and she says, my mask. And just the fact that she knows that, it's kind of sad to me.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think of like, and some people could say, okay, you're so dramatic, but like, I think of countries back east, in the Middle East and stuff, where countries women are forced to be covered up, things like that, where it's a forcible situation. Yeah. And I know this is technically for the health and safety of our community, but you know, how healthy and how safe is it?
Right.
We don't know. We really don't know that's
Which
really
that's another issue for me. We don't know. Show me the study that proves that it is protecting people. Like, give me that. Give me that. Because you telling me that, well, it's going to protect you, but you not having anything to back it up, I don't want to hear it. Like, you're now being forced to do this when there's nothing. That would be like if they said, well, don't drink and drive because it just must not be safe. But they have no proof of all of these people that have been killed in drinking and driving situations and things like that. You have proof for that.
Right.
They have statistics and studies that show that seatbelts protect us.
Right.
There are seatbelt laws, right? But there are studies that like they can show you that this is obviously the best way to keep you safe. And in the event that something did happen, but in the event that you're around someone with COVID, how much protection is that mask causing, or providing? Is it really doing anything? Because there are a lot of people that say it's not, you know? And that's where I just don't like, I don't like them making you do something without having anything to back it up.
And I feel like, I just feel like the world is turned upside down right now. And I'm not ready to make a decision, a quick decision when everything is upside down.
Right.
I'm not. And maybe if I made the decision, the world would flip back up, but I just don't see it. I don't know. I just don't see it. You know, right now everything is so effed.
It is.
So effed.
It really is. I don't know. And it doesn't feel like it's the end of it anytime soon.
No.
Really. I mean.
No, I don't think so either. And I feel like, I mean, one of the reasons why, if I'm being honest and I'm sharing, one of the reasons we put Gigi in private school, at preschool, is because I wanted to keep her there, and we will continue with her education there. More than likely, if things change, great. But the world is so upside down. I don't have faith right now in our schools.
I know.
I don't.
I'm having a hard time with that too.
And I don't. It's not because I don't love our teachers, because I do. I think we have amazing teachers.
Yeah.
I think that even admin, we have great admin.
I agree.
Local great admin, but that only goes so far. And things are so messed up. I just thought it's better for us to get in now. And know that we're secure and we feel comfortable in where our child is going right now, and know that, I mean, they're going to have rules too. They're going to be, you know, but it's a little bit more parent, it's a little bit more parent driven, and our opinions matter a little bit more, I think, and can be taken in a different, can be taken a little bit more serious, I guess. I don't know how to word that, but
it has more value.
Yes, it has more value. Yeah. Than if we were to send her to public school.
Yeah.
And luckily, I mean, it's not like, and don't get me wrong, I know not everybody has that ability to send their kids. It's expensive. It's not cheap, you know. Financially, it's going to be something that we're going to have to invest in for a very long time.
Right.
But, you know, we're willing to make the sacrifices that we need to right now, and suck it up, because I just don't know.
Yeah.
I got one that's a junior.
She's
going in her junior year. I'm grateful that they're going back full time.
For now.
We hope.
Yeah.
I'm grateful that that she gets to start school for now.
Yeah.
But you remember, I mean, when they came back, when they went on winter break, they were supposed to come back full course. That changed quickly. And it was like days before they were supposed to start.
Yeah.
You just don't know. And that's the thing. Everything right now is like nobody knows. I don't know. You know, our community, our people, like people in the world, maybe the experts know, maybe government knows, maybe health people know. I don't know who knows. But the normal day-to-day people, none of us know what the hell is going to happen.
Yeah.
None of us know what's going to happen if school will really start. We are thinking it's going to start.
Yeah.
And, you know, you have to plan as if it's going to start. But you just don't know. Who knows what's going to happen in our state? We live in the state of California. We're going through a recall session right now, you know. That's going to be on the ballot in September. Everyone's going to have to vote. You know, who votes, and we hope everyone votes and has, I mean, that's your voice. But whether or not he's recalled, does that change anything? Maybe it doesn't change anything. Maybe it does. Will there be someone, if someone else comes in, what's that look like?
Right.
We don't know.
Right.
And let's go above that. Let's go to everything just happening that's, you know, our country. What is going to happen? We just don't know.
Right.
There's supposed to be there's a new variant out there. And the unknown is like, it's still a psychological battle.
It
I
is.
feel like
Yes.
we are a year and a half into this psychological battle.
Yeah.
And I think that that's one of my biggest reasons why I've just said, for me personally, for my family, we will not. Now, some of my family members will be at our household, and some will not, and we will have to play it by ear. I mean, and it's not like it doesn't come up. I mean, Tony and I talk about it all the time. It's like, do we, don't we, do we, don't we? Well, if he's traveling more, do I probably will, because if I'm going to have to, but we don't know. But the fact is that we still have that choice.
Right.
And it's when that choice is taken away, that's really difficult.
Yes.
That's a difficult pill to swallow. If someone told you have 2 sons and you didn't want to circumcise them, but they said you had to circumcise them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, like, and overall, like, you have a choice.
Yes.
That is supposed to be part of your right.
Right. As a citizen
as an American.
This country.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. We're supposed to be able to make these choices based on our beliefs.
You have the right. You have the right to worship God, and you have the right not to.
Exactly.
You have the right to worship Buddha. You have the right not to. You have the right to whatever, whatever religion you want, whatever you want to, however you want to raise your children is your right. Whatever you want to put in their bodies. If you want to feed them Cheez-Its for life, I don't know, that's your right. I mean, they may not be healthy, but that's your right. Or if you want to feed them carrots for life, I mean, that's your right. It just, all I'm saying is the right to.
Yes.
And it's very hard right now. I think we are lucky. We live in California where a lot of jobs, a lot of companies are going to, you must be vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
There's no other choice.
Yeah.
And we are lucky enough to not have those hurdles just yet.
Right.
But again,
who knows?
It's
all up in the air, like you said.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So I guess we did not even, I mean, we will still continue with this, but sorry for those who don't want to hear it. But
these are just things that
all we want to say is, like, we get it, and we get you out there. And those that are struggling with that, we are here too, and we feel it too. So,
and again, we're not against the vaccine.
No,
we're against being forced.
Yes,
we have family members that have it. We have family members that don't.
Yeah, no one's grown a tail yet. I mean, no one's grown fins.
I hope not. I haven't seen my mom for a couple days, but no, I'm just kidding.
No.
But yeah, so anywho, thanks for listening, guys. We'll be back for some more next week.
That's right. Thanks for swapping with us. Segment music by Callie Grace. For more of Callie Grace's hits, follow Callie Grace on iTunes and Spotify today.